Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 3 o'clock news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Raleigh where an additional 3 flu deaths have been reported. The Department of Health and Human Services says 3 new flu deaths were reported last week, bringing the number of deaths this season to 9. Of those 6 were 65 years of age or older, and the other 3 were between 50 and 64 years old. The state says flu activity is surging just as holiday travel and gatherings begin. They say it's not too late to get your flu vaccine. A DHHS says last year the state reported 542 flu deaths. And now we've got some good news for those of you who love gas stations and live in Morehead City, as you've got a Wawa heading your way. The news again is kind of a little head start, as Morehead City says the Wawa will be built on US 70 near the Lidl and the Highway 24 intersection. And the city says the site is currently being prepared and construction should begin mid-2026, with its completion date set for late 2026 to early 2027. This will be Wawa's 12th location in eastern North Carolina. 4 locations in Greenville, 3 in the Wilson area, 2 in Goldsboro, and 1 in Rocky Mount, and now another in Jacksonville. Now, Wawa says these are efforts to open nearly 90 sites across North Carolina over the next 3 to 5 years. Now for your weather forecast. We've got more of a chill on the way. Coming up for tomorrow, we are going to be noticeably colder as we've got a cold front that is going to be drifting across the east late tonight into the early hours of tomorrow morning. Here you can see that chill present across southern Illinois, portions of Missouri, even out of the western section of Kentucky. All that cold air, again, will make a brief stay in eastern North Carolina. We'll have a nice little warm up over the weekend, and then more cold air starts to spill back into eastern North Carolina as we make our way through Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. So the temperature trend is just going to continue to go up and down a bit over the next several days. And while sky conditions are going to remain largely sunny, we will certainly have some breaks in the I would say breaks in the sunny weather, giving us a little bit of cloud cover at times. We'll have one of those rounds of clouds rolling through late tonight into early tomorrow morning. 55 degrees right now in Washington, comes with a south-southwesterly wind at 11 miles an hour. Pirate Cam highlighting a very similar temperature outlook right now, mid-50s. Or put on my Jim Howard shoes, double nickel right now across Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. South-southwesterly winds at 15 miles an hour, doing a good job of bringing in more heat today. Current air temperatures in the low to mid-50s across most of the east are significantly warmer than where we were yesterday at this time. Many areas have seen air temperatures rise about 10 to 15 degrees over the past 24 hours. And that is a change that's going to revert back the opposite direction as we head into tomorrow. It's going to be chilly out there tomorrow because winds will no longer be coming out of the southwest. 10 to 15 mile an hour sustained winds for inland areas, a little bit stronger as you get closer to the water. 15 to 20 mile an hour sustained winds closer to the beaches. But winds shifting later on tonight will bring in some of that colder air. Remember, I talked about that cold front rolling in. That's expected to happen by the time we get to around midnight tonight through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Over that time period, we'll see colder air rush in, but winds will shift out of the northwest. And that will encourage even more cold air to roll into eastern North Carolina, not just for the tail end of your Thursday, but for Friday as well. So plan on a chilly Thursday and Friday before we warm right on back up for the upcoming weekend. We've got a high pressure system that's going to be cruising the Gulf Coast states, and as that high, it's actually the one you're seeing further back towards Arizona, as that high works its way across the Gulf Coast, it will eventually pull off the coast of Georgia, and that will adjust our winds yet again, giving us more of a south to southwesterly flow of air as we make our way into Saturday. This will warm us up. We will also get some warmth due to the fact we're going to be in what is considered the warm sector of that low pressure system. Now, the cold front of that system will be moving across eastern North Carolina on Sunday, giving us a slight chance of rain, but more importantly, some cooler weather Cooler weather straight up, 40 degrees Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then Sunday we only gain 8 degrees off of our morning low. Normally, from our morning low, we see an average temperature rise about 20 degrees each day. We're going to be shy of that number by quite a bit on Sunday. Don't be surprised if on Saturday you think, all right, warm conditions still present Sunday morning. Pump those brakes. It will still be chilly by Sunday afternoon. Even colder coming up on Monday. We'll start to see those temperatures rebound on Tuesday and Wednesday, getting back to the mid-50s by the time we reach next Wednesday, similar in fact to what we've seen so far today. That's all we have time for today's 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I do want to apologize. I got my times wrong. Coming up at 3:30, we are going to be talking about a recent discovery from a research team out of University of St. Andrews in the UK about ocean acidification around upwelling zones, particularly how that could impact our ecosystems across the Carolina coastline, with the amount of fossil fuels being burned and the carbon dioxide that results from that burning of fossil fuels. We'll have more details on that recent discovery coming up at 3:30. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back here coming up in just a few moments.